Welcome back to the continuation of DBMS part 4. So, in the part 1, 2, 3, we have seen the advantages, features, and other thing. We'll continue the next advantages of using DBMS approach in the this session. Okay, so we stopped for providing storage structure and for efficient query processing. So, DBMS system must provide capabilities for efficiently executing queries and updates. Because the database is typically stored on the disk, the DBMS must provide the specialized data structures to speed up the disk search for desired records. Auxiliary files called as a indexes. Indexes means it's a like a in a book there is a page. A lot of pages are there. First page is index will tell in the which uh, page in the book the content is there. So chapter wise the index are there. So like that index has are used for this purpose. The index are typically based on the tree data structures or the hash data structures suitably modified for the disk search. In order to process the database records needed by the particular query, these records must be copied from disk memory. Therefore, DBMS often has buffering model that maintains parts of DBMS main memory buffers. In other cases, the DBMS may use operating system to do the buffering of the disk, the query processing and optimization. The mode of the DBMS is responsible for choosing an efficient query execution plan, and each query is based on the existing storage structure. So itself will execute the query processing and optimization. The choice of which index to create the maintain the part of physical design database structuring, which is the responsibility of the DBA, and this we'll discuss in the next coming chapters. Now, we'll see what is meant by providing backup and recovery. The DBMS must provide the facility for recovering from the hardware or the software failures. The backup and recovery subsystems of DBMS is the responsibility of the important this software. For example, if the computer fails in middle of a complex update transition, the recovery subsystem is responsible for making sure that the database is restored to state where it was at the original before the transaction started executing. Alternately, the recovery subsystem could ensure that the transaction is resumed from the point at which the interrupted so that full effect is recorded in the database. While operating with the DBMS, if sudden light goes off, then it should restore its original place. That is a backup recovery. Then providing multiple different interfaces. Because many types of users with varying levels of technical knowledge use the database, the DBMS should provide a variety of user interfaces. Means, suppose student is there. Okay, he wants some GUI format interface that should be provided. That is called as a multiple interfaces. These include the query languages like a casual users, programming language interfaces for application programmers, form based and command codes for parametric users. The menu driven interfaces and natural language interfaces for standalone users. Both forms and style interfaces are GUI, commonly known as a graphical user interface. Some users need the natural language processing. Like if the question is asked to the DBMS should be able to tell the answer. This application is widely used in the Google speech, where if I want to call anybody, just I'll tell the call something says Sanjay. So automatically Google database in my mobile will connect by using the standard query procedure will connect call the Sanjay. So this is the different way of interfaces are required. Now representing complex relationship among the data. A database may include numerous varieties of data that are irrelated in many ways. Okay, so we have seen so many irrelated data in the one of the example, that is a college, where the record for if we take the example of the university database that we have seen in the earlier cases, the record Brown in the student file is related to 4 records in the grade report file. Similarly, each record is related to one course record to the number of grade report records, one for each student in a completed section. A DBMS must have capability to represent a variety of complex relationship among the data and databases. Means it should be able to connect different subsection, and it should be able to tell the retrieve the correct answer. Enforcing the next one is the enforcing integrity constraint in and databases. So what is meant by enforcing integrity constraint? Most of the database applications have certain integrity constraint that must hold for a data. For example, I said integrity constraint, a age of a person should not cross more than 200. Okay, age of person should not be negative. His temperature should not be negative, like a minus 50. He cannot survive. Okay, so like that, putting some condition on the data is called as a integrity constraint. A database should provide the capabilities for defining these enforcement constraint. Okay, so DBMS allows to enforce the integrity constraint. Then drawing, last one is the drawing inferences and actions from the stored data using the deductive and active rules. Some of the databases provide the capabilities of defining the deduction rules for inferencing new information from the stored database sets. Such systems are called as a deductive databases. For example, there are many complex rules in the mini world for the determining when the student is on the probation. Okay, means when he has taken the rule holiday, his attendance should not be considered. This is called as a deductive rules. So that our traditional DBMS explicitly is a uh, procedural program uh, code would be written to support this application. But the many words rule change. It is generally more convenient to change the declared deduction rules than the associate associated triggers with the table. So we'll see what is meant by trigger now. Trigger is like again a constraint. Trigger is a condition. So something happens, it should trigger something. So trigger is a form of rule activated by updates to the table, which results performing some additional operation to the other table. There are also more procedures are called as a stored procedure and derived procedures. So this we'll see in the fifth chapter. So our DBMS should support all these deductive rules. Some additional implication by using the database approach. Potential for enforcing standard. This is very crucial for the success of database application in the large application. Standards refer to data items, names, display formats, and screen structures and metadata. So this facility communicates and cooperates among the various departments of a database administrator and database writers. Okay. Next one is a reduced application development time. The uh, the prime selling feature of a database approach is developing a new application, such as a retrieval of certain data from the database for printing a new report. It may take very little time. Designing and implementation of a new database from scratch may take more than writing a single specialized file application. However, once the database is up, running subsequently, less time is generally required to create the new application using the DBMS facilities. Development time using DBMS is estimated to be one-sixth to one-fourth of that for the traditional file system. So this is reduced application development time. DBMS allows users to reduce the development time. Next one is a flexibility to change the data structures. It may be necessary to change the structure of database as the requirement changes. For example, the new user group may emerge as needs of information not currently in the database. In response, it may be necessary to add some files to the database or extend the data elements in the existing file. Modern DBMS allows certain types of evolutionary changes to the structure of database without affecting the stored data and existing application programs. Next one is the availability of current information. The DBMS makes the database available to the all users as soon as the users update applied to the database. Okay, all users can immediately see this updation. Suppose same there are in a railway reservation system. If there are 100 people who are about to travel from one place to Belgaum, assume from Belgaum to Mumbai, suddenly they cancel their ticket. What happens? So the database administrator will update the database. Suddenly all 100 seats will be reflected for the new user. That is called as a availability of current information. Then economies of a scale. The DBMS approach permits consolidation of a data and application, thus reducing the amount of wasteful overlap between the activities of data processing, personnel in different projects and departments, as well as redundancies among the application. This enables the whole organization to invest more powerful processor, storage devices, communication gear, rather than having each department purchases its own equipment. This reduces overall cost of a operation management. So, reducing the economy, reducing the cost is a under subcategory of this skill. So, the historical development of DBMS we'll see in the next class. Thank you.